I think he just blew up an effort to keep the government open by tweet.
As Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way, because Christian nationalists is very different.
Hey everybody, there's a lot going on right now between CNN and MSNBC trying to push these new narratives on the American public. I also have a little goodie for you at the end where Joy Reid gets caught using X, even though she said she's leaving the platform because she can't stand it. She accidentally snitches on herself for actually using X this whole time. Anyway, let's start with this first clip because it's very annoying.
As Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way, because Christian nationalists is very different, is that they believe that our rights as Americans, as all human beings, don't come from any earthly authority. They don't come from Congress. They don't come from the Supreme Court. They come from God.
Oh, I love when MSNBC tries to talk about Christianity and gets it all wrong. Even if you are not a Christian, very quick education piece because MSNBC talks with such authority, yet they are always trying to divide the Christian. First and foremost, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist, been established by God, straight from the Bible. So yes, Christians actually all agree this is a real thing. And as far as Christian nationalism, yes, we can agree to disagree on some of their points. Nonetheless, they are still Christians. We know amongst Christians there's a lot of division with thought and idea. Nonetheless, MSNBC will do whatever it takes to divide Christians because we know Christians are one of the main reasons as to how Donald Trump got elected. Everyone came together, Catholics, Protestants, Orthodox, and all voted for Donald Trump.
Look, I think Donald Trump having a relationship with one of the greatest innovators of our time across multiple sectors and having that person be as invested in the United States and the success of the United States as he can be is unequivocally a good thing, and I'm sorry if people had their feelings hurt by that. But this country needs people like Elon Musk to create, to innovate, to participate in our civic affairs. This is a good thing.
To run government policy by tweet, though?
He's not running it.
He's not running anything.
The president's allowed to have advisors and aides, and some of the best accomplishments from his first term were by non-cabinet aides. Like Jared Kushner ran point on getting peace between Israel and 5 countries, and Elon Musk, he's been very successful in many domains, and I think
he just blew up an effort to keep the government open by tweet. That's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about running government policy, they were great.
The government did not.
He's going to help us cut waste, fraud, and abuse, which we should all be able to get behind when you look at how much money the government wastes.
Including money to shore up the health fund for victims of 9/11 here in the great state of New York. So there were things that he has already done that have caused harm by tweet and by influence. And so I think it's fair to say that he is helping to run the government even before the incoming government takes office.
Okay, so right now, CNN and MSNBC, they are still pushing the narrative that Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they can't stand each other and don't actually like working together. However, the main story right now for conservatives or MAGA is the whole H-1B visa controversy. How many skilled workers should we allow in this country? Or do people actually want to start picking skilled engineers and other workers from our own people? Scott Jennings talks about this.
Picture here, because on the policy, this is a huge issue that has long existed in terms of a division between certain parts of the Republican Party. And then also in the coalition, the political coalition. The president-elect won the popular vote in large part because he was able to put together these two very key components of the coalition. How long-standing and potentially harmful do you think this fight could get?
Let me just start with Kelly Kapowski, if you're listening.
Oh,
hi. Number two, look, there's always been a push and pull on this in the Republican Party, and I think there's a way to work this out and solve it. I mean, I think what a lot of people would say is, and Elon Musk was making this point, if you take like the top 1% or the top 0.1% of the most talented engineering people from other countries, that's perfectly fine. H-1B visas for that, they're unique. They have unique talent, unique innovative skills, fine. If you're using the H-1B program to abuse it, to recruit interns, accountants, other people that easily could be recruited from the United States of America, all because you just want to do it cheaper, that's not fine. So I think what a lot of people in the party want to do is eliminate the fraud in this H-1B program, retain the top engineering talent, and there's a way to do this. What Ramaswamy did yesterday was not a great communications exercise, and it did anger a lot of people in the president's coalition, and I think rightfully so.
Okay, so I think it's very important to note that Donald Trump does officially stand with Elon Musk as far as his perspective of bringing in the top 1% or the top skilled workers of other countries, immigrants coming into this country. However, the main divide right now amongst Republicans, conservatives, and MAGA are there people that are as highly qualified, however, they're being looked over. A big argument right now is that white males have been looked over for the last few years in engineering spots because of DEI hires and other such things. So again, let me know what you guys think down below. I just wanted to give you guys a little context that Donald Trump actually does side with Elon on this, on wanting to bring in more skilled workers. Now, time for a little more lighthearted clip. You guys are going to laugh at this.
And I think history is going to look kindly on her term. She was an extraordinary advocate on issues that matter to women in ways that we have never seen before. And I think like many women, and really anyone who is the first, who is a trailblazer, they carry an extra heavy load and the burden is, really upon them. It is an incredibly difficult road to, path to walk, but she's done it with grace. I think she's made some really important strides on behalf of women in the country. I think the ways in which especially she's defined the abortion rights issue as a freedom issue in this time will be looked back on as defining. And I hope we, take a moment to acknowledge her extraordinary history-making contributions and not just, leave her sole legacy as having lost the presidency. Because
that is a very recent clip from MSNBC. I cannot even believe that is a real segment. They really paid a news anchor to go on television and try and convince people, you know what, we need to remember that Kamala Harris did a really good job. Now, and even during her political campaign, we shouldn't remember why and how she lost. If anything, we need to remember how Kamala Harris lost, well, really Democrats do, so that will never happen again. That was one of the most embarrassing campaigns in political history, to pay all of that money to have Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, all of these rappers and dancers. She literally created the party of the elitist when they are supposed to be the party of the working class. You had so many Catholics literally say, you know what, we're done being Democrat, we're going to go Republican. Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., all of these people went Democrat because of what Kamala Harris did to the Democratic Party. Now, this next clip is absolutely the icing on the cake. It's Joy Reid from MSNBC acting like she's not using X when she literally snitches on herself that she's using X.
Hey, fam. So it's been really fascinating to watch what's going on in MAGA world right now. This real catfight between members of the sort of MAGA chattering class, back and forth, that's mostly taking place on X Twitter. And no, I'm not still on X Twitter. I did leave the site, but just have been observing it just by going on it, just looking at it. Because that's really where the fight is kind of playing out.
There's nothing I love more than when Democrats accidentally snitch themselves out. That is not the first instance of people leaving X and then getting caught being back on the platform. We all know why they're back on X. It's the #1 news app, and to be honest with you, she's supposed to be a news anchor. Why wouldn't you be on this platform? Democrats love doing the whole, look what I'm doing, I'm standing for something good, I'm leaving that horrible platform, and then will post a video of themselves saying, well, I'm actually on this platform. Now, I wonder if she's going to get canceled like Morning Joe did, how they went to go visit Donald Trump, even though forever they've been saying Donald Trump is the enemy. I guess not. We'll see what happens with her.
I mean, he should have never run for re-election. Mike is exactly right. When he got asked about regrets, the fact that he didn't say, I regret that 13 American service members lost their lives in Afghanistan, to me, that he can't muster the courage to say that now is a disgrace. Beyond that, he's leaving office in disgrace. I mean, you get less than 20% of the American people now that think the country is on the right track. That's a lower number than it even was on Election Day. And what's happened since Election Day? He pardoned his son, Hunter. He commuted the sentences of a bunch of evil killer thugs on federal death row. Not all of them, just the ones that he wanted to. Didn't even make a principled stand on that. And then he went on vacation, which is where he is right now. This is a failed, disgraced president. And he has never, ever owned up to what happened in Afghanistan and the role that that played in destroying those families' lives and destroying his own presidency.
So I think Donald Trump needs to say, I'm sorry that 1 million people died in COVID while I was telling people to shine light in their bodies and take disinfectant.
That's false.
No, that's exactly what he said. He said you should shine light in your own
Google it after
body.
the show. Again,
right?
I'll go through this with you guys.
And take disinfectant.
All right, we can fact check
He needs to say he's sorry for that.
He speculated about the effect of light on the virus and disinfectant.
Right. While the doctor stood
Publicly,
behind him.
and
Like, oh my God, I believe
He
he's saying.
speculated
And you know
about
what?
whether
People told us to stand 6 feet apart and wear masks, and that didn't exactly solve anything.
Now, the crazy thing about all of this, it just came out that Joe Biden is saying he should have ran for the presidency and he knows he would have beat Donald Trump. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. I think I might make a video on that because I know a lot of people are going to comment on Joe Biden saying Kamala Harris should have never ran for the presidency and I should have. We'll see you guys later. Thank you for being here.